Hey guys, it's Miss Patel again. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the importance of biodiversity. So if you clicked on this video, you probably want me to read this to you with my soulful, beautiful voice. So here we go. So you live in Chicago, Illinois. It is a place that is known for being big. Over 3 million people live in the city and it's growing every year. Chicago has a lot of different things in it, but there is one thing that Chicago lacks: nature. Sure, you have the occasional park here and there, but there really aren't many forests and open fields in the Chicago metropolis. Metropolis, my bad. Because you live here, it is sometimes hard to see how your life relies on nature. Without nature, though, you wouldn't have food to eat or water to drink, and that is a recipe for disaster. All right, y'all. What wouldn't you have without nature? Is it cars, trucks, planes, food and water, humans, buildings, bridges? Or, hey, you know what? We actually don't need nature. Go ahead and answer that question. And your answer should have been food and water. You always need nature. Next, biodiversity. So we now know why we need nature for our survival. Now we need to figure out how to keep nature healthy and long-lasting. The key to keeping nature healthy has to do with biodiversity. Biodiversity is a variety of different species in an area. The more biodiversity a biome is like an ecosystem, contain, the healthier that biome will be. So what is the key to keeping nature healthy? Is it humans, animals, biodiversity, or cities? It's biodiversity. Remember, biodiversity is a thing that keeps nature healthy. Do humans keep the nature healthy? Sometimes. Sometimes. But then we also have these evil humans out there that be messing up this nature and messing up our ecosystems and don't keep it healthy. Animals can, definitely keep nature healthy, but the thing that's going to definitely keep it healthy is biodiversity. And I don't even want to get into cities. In your own words, what is biodiversity? So you should probably start off your sentence with, I think biodiversity is, and then complete the sentence. You can look back at the reading to help you. Which one of the following makes an ecosystem healthy? Large amounts of biodiversity or low amounts of biodiversity? It's definitely large amounts of biodiversity. The more biodiverse your biome or ecosystem, the healthier your ecosystem is. Remember, biodiversity, right, is the variety of different species. So the more different species that you have living in an area, in an ecosystem, the healthier your ecosystem is. Rainforest. Of course, there are many different environments and biomes in the world, and they all have different levels of biodiversity. Cities have the least amount of biodiversity. Rainforests, right, have the most amount of biodiversity. Can you guess which biome contains the most biodiversity? That's right, the tropical rainforest contains the most biodiversity. Someone would say that the tropical rainforest contains the most biodiversity because it has so many different species of organisms living inside it. Compare the variety of life in a rainforest to the variety of life in a grassland, and it is easy to see why the rainforest is considered to have more biodiversity than the grassland. Which of the following contains the most amount of biodiversity? So which of one of these has like the most different amount of species living in an area? It's definitely the rainforest. Why does this ecosystem contain the most amount of biodiversity? The rainforest contains the most amount of biodiversity because, and then you probably should go back to this reading to help you get to that answer. Sustainability. The more biodiversity a biome is, the more sustainable it is too. Sustainability means long lasting. When something is long lasting, right, especially biodiversity, that means it's good. Different biomes or ecosystems have different levels of sustainability. Some biomes are more sustainable than others. The healthiest biomes of the world are the ones that are most sustainable. If an environment has high levels of biodiversity, it will be more sustainable. What does sustainability mean? Does it mean lasting a short amount of time or lasting a long time? Go back and check your answers. It obviously says sustainability, whoops, means long lasting. So it should be lasting a long time. What makes a healthy biome? Biomes that are the most sustainable or biomes that are not sustainable? Definitely biomes that are most sustainable, because remember, if the biodiversity lasts for a long time, which is it being sustainable, that means the biodome is going to be, or the biome is going to be, the environment is going to be a lot more healthy. With that being said, which environment do you think is more sustainable, the tropical rainforest or the desert? If you guess the tropical rainforest, you are correct, because the rainforest has higher levels of biodiversity than the desert. It is more sustainable. You see, all organisms benefit when there are many different types of organisms in an environment. Biodiversity helps sustain a population in an ecosystem because it provides for a variety of organisms that are genetically different. With so many different types of organisms, the concern over one type of organism going extinct and wreaking havoc on the food chain is not as big of a deal. Which of the following biome is the most sustainable? Definitely rainforest. Rainforest is, whoops, the most sustainable, whoops, because, and then you can go back and read and find that answer to help you finish this off. When you're done, go ahead and press that next button so that you can move on. Thank you for joining me in biodiversity.